It's Nolan. What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, and I'm your source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody's doing well out there this evening. For my final video of the day, this was not originally on my, my planner, but I was confronted with this information today about UMG potentially putting content creators, reactors, music reaction channels, and really just users across social media in jeopardy was brought to my attention, and I figured I would go ahead and speak on it, okay? So there's a large creator by the name of Cliff Beats. He has somewhere in the upwards of 360, 390, something up there, 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, which means his channel is a minimum of 10 times larger than mine. And he came out and made a video basically warning content creators, reactors, and specifically those of us in the music space that, react to music and things of that nature, warning us to be prepared for UMG to try to buy out a lot of these social media platforms, distribution companies that are distributing independent music also. He's saying something about UMG attempting to create a monopoly in the music, entertainment, and social media sphere. Okay? I'm going to play a portion of his video where he's going into details about the amount of strikes that he's recently received on his channel. I believe he said he's got like 27 new strikes on his channel, which means his channel is pretty much in jeopardy of being taken down, because YouTube has a 3-strike rule. You get 3 strikes, your channel's taken down, unless you can, fight back and get them taken off your account. But to be hit with 27 strikes at one time is crazy work. Now, I'm quite sure these strikes are copyright strikes, not community strikes, but it's still it's a big fucking issue. You know what I mean? Copyright claims are enough if you react to a song and they say, hey, we don't want this video up, or we don't want you using our video in your content. A claim lets you know, hey, we see that you're using our shit. And there's a couple ways they could go about it. They can either enable a revenue share, meaning that you can keep the video up, you can monetize on the video, but they're gonna get like the majority of the money. That's one way. I think it's like a 55 or 45% share that will go to the rights holders, and then the content creator keeps the remaining. Or they can say you can keep the video up, but you can't monetize it, which I've talked about a bunch of times. I talk about reaction channels that aren't monetizing their videos, which is why some people come on my channel and say, hey, why don't you play the music? Well, I monetize on all my content. You know what I'm saying? This is my gig. I'm an artist, songwriter, and YouTube creator. I don't do free work. Okay? And I spend a lot of time over here with y'all, so I can't do it for free. So that doesn't work for me. Or what they can do is completely block the video, right? They say, hey, you got our shit in your content. We're restricting it. It can't be viewed at all, right? But the escalation from the copyright claim is a copyright strike, which then punishes your channel for the usage, right? And he's basically saying that what UMG is attempting to do is to not only strike the channels utilizing this music, but also to own all of these different platforms in which the promotion of this music goes out to, so that ultimately they can be the arbiters of the profits when, how like the NFR podcast or Kirko on Twitter, or, those big platforms that as soon as a new song drops from a popular artist, they already have it on Twitter and it's spreading out and they play the song in its entirety. Well, if UMG then owns a share of the company then they can basically enforce that money comes to us. That money either going to come to us or we're going to split it or something, but they're going to have some enforcement on that, right? Which I don't necessarily think is a totally bad thing. I have to be honest. I have to look at this from not only the perspective of a reactor or a creator, but also as an owner, right? Because if I own all this catalog and people are doing whatever they want with it, yes, that does create challenges. We are promoting your shit. So without people promoting your shit, and you're not necessarily paying us, which is being proven in your lawsuit, in the lawsuit where Drake sued y'all. But y'all are getting free promo, free marketing from content creators. So if you take that away and you don't, and there's no incentive for people to do the promotion, then that creates another set of issues for UMG as a company and as a label, right? Y'all see me all the time say, hey man, whitelist your boy. Well, they really trying to blacklist niggas. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull up Cliff Beats video where he gets into details about this stuff and, kind of gives this warning. I'm also gonna pull up a petition that's been uploaded onto the internet for people to galvanize and gather and get behind to try to prevent UMG from potentially enacting this so-called monopoly, which I don't believe they'll be able to do anyway, because there's antitrust laws and things of that nature that are out there that are supposed to prevent monopolies from happening. But anything is possible, especially in this day and age, especially with the people that we have in power in this country. So we'll just have to see. But I'm gonna go ahead and pull up Cliff.
Universal Music Group is aiming to buy out every single sister company and distribution company on social media. That goes for TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, anything you can think of. They're trying to buy everything and monopolize the internet right now. What that means is there will no longer be reaction channels. There will no longer be any using of any music of any sorts unless you are paying them or you have some type of deal with Universal Music Group. And 99% of your creators do not. Your independent artists, their distribution companies that they work with are going to be forced and purchased by Universal Music Group as well. Anybody who enjoys reaction channels or enjoys reviews or whatever the case may be, bar breakdowns, they will be non-existent. The only way they're going to be able to do it is if they go through the judicial system. But I don't see that happening for everybody. Not everybody can afford an attorney and go to court and fight for every single video if that is to happen. Just this morning, I got smacked with about 27 strikes. I'm in the middle of fighting them right now. Like I said, I just talked to BP. He's in Belgium right now with AR. I was trying to give them a heads up early this morning. We were kind of laughing and joking and shit. And he said, yo, Cliff, thanks for the heads up. He just started getting smacked too. Every artist is getting smacked. Every reactor is getting smacked. I'm trying to give you a heads up right now. Back when Drake and Kendrick had that big beef, they did something where they allowed reaction channels and other people to review the music for a month or so and then took it away, but then released it again when a lot of people were complaining. That was like their test run to see how much revenue they would gain. This might be my conspiracy mind. Allegedly, speaking allegedly, I think what they were doing was trying to see how much revenue they would gain off of each creator in total. They seen the amount of money that they could make from other reaction channels as well, or other creators, independent artists doing reactions, or even cover songs. Cover songs is going to be a huge issue. It's going to get really messy. I'm speaking very prematurely right now, but not really. If you go looking for this, if you go searching up UMG taking over social media, you will see things pop up. I want everybody to have a heads up. So if you see your favorite creators not uploading any content, if you see people just disappearing, because it's going to happen, channels are going to get shut down, musicians are going to have a hard time posting their work. I want everybody to know what's going on right now. I would love to, I don't know where you want me to go with a class action lawsuit. I don't think anybody realizes the time and effort that goes behind that and everybody getting on the same page. The only way that's going to happen is when things do go into effect, which is happening right now. Somebody who has a lot more money than I have is going to probably start a class action lawsuit. Again, Meta tried doing the same thing. Who the hell can sue Meta? The only way they were shut down, I think, was by the US government. So this is going to be a similar situation if it is to go that route. I'm not a fucking lawyer. I can't pretend like I am. I'm just letting you know. You need to let everybody know. So me, I'm friends with Easy Mill. I'm friends with Token. I'm friends with tons of artists, right? I'm just naming a few off the top of my head. all their content's going to be blocked. I just got striked for all of Easy Mill's content that I reacted to in 2021. So I'm trying to get a hold of his team. I have connections with Universal Music Group, and they're basically telling me to go fuck myself. So they're about it. They want all the smoke right now. They're trying to grab every single dollar. They see that independent artists are taking over the industry. For example, Jelly Roll, how he moved from being an independent artist to being one of the highest selling artists right now, and they are clasping down on everybody on social media. I don't want to make this long ass video where I go on some fucking crazy Alex Jones tangent, but I think people need to be aware. I think you need to let your I'm getting messaged like crazy. I think you need to let your favorite creators know what's happening, guys. This isn't just for me. I can fight my own battles. I have my own ways to go about it. If I have to go to court, I'll fucking go to court, no problem. They're also claiming my likeness and my intellectual property as well. So I'm okay with that. But it's going to be even more difficult for people who do covers. It's going to be more difficult for people who are signed to other distribution companies, and then all of a sudden their sister companies or the parent company start being purchased by UMG, which is Universal Music Group. This is going to become a huge issue. So for example, I just did a bunch of songs from like NF, Eminem, Joyner Lucas, so on and so forth. All those videos are being taken down. They will not come back until probably mid to end July, and by then the algorithm kills those videos. So I'm letting you know exactly what happens. What happened? Will this affect people like Church and Tom? And I don't know yet. It depends on what companies Universal Music Group tries to buy. You can go look up a lot of this information yourself. Lawyers have already been making content about this happening. I've only been hearing about it through the grapevine over the last, I would say 2-3 months. And I was kind of like, I don't see that happening. It's happening. I didn't think it would happen, but it's happening. Is it because your large reaction channels feel like you're getting picked on? No. Guys, listen, reaction channels, I'm trying to look out for everybody right now. I'm trying to give everybody a warning and a heads up. I am not the person to try to gather everyone together and form a class action lawsuit. One, I'm not smart enough for that. Two, I don't have the funds to pursue that. When you're dealing with something like Universal Music Group, it's a whole different animal. If TikTok's struggling to fucking fight with Universal Music Group, or Meta is struggling, what the hell do you think I can do? You know what I'm saying? I write music. I work for a label as well, so I'm okay. That's my job. I make content off to the side just for fun with Karen, like 3 or 4 days out of the week, and then I go live on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm not really too worried if my channel gets taken down and I'm no longer here. I'll miss the hell out of you guys, of course. But I wanted to make this video to let you know, you guys hold all the power. All the viewers for every channel hold all the power. You need to go into everybody's Discord, even your favorite independent artists, and let them know what is happening, how Universal Music Group is moving right now. They are allegedly planning on purchasing every distribution company possible. That is their move. They see that independent artists are taking over, record labels are going under, and they are trying to basically monopolize social media. It is happening right in front of our eyes. I don't see anything changing unless the government steps in and tries to stop them from monopolizing. I don't even know if a class action lawsuit would work. I just want you to know what is going on right now. HMAC will be getting hit. I don't know. Again, I can't predict where UMG is going. But when I hear UMG is trying to purchase every distribution company, that makes me want to say it's possible. That doesn't mean the artists won't get paid. That just means that these artists are going to have to give up some of their money, possibly, or work out deals with UMG that they don't want to work out. And then reaction channels will no longer be existent. They will no longer be able to help promote up-and-coming artists. So, for example, like Easy Mill, when he dropped Panalo, no one really knew about him. He dropped that, it blew up. Ren, he dropped High Ren, and everybody reacted to it, and it blew the fuck up. A lot of artists have a lot of respect for reaction channels and what they do. Now, of course, there are some channels out there that just abuse it and try to make money, generate revenue for themselves. Whatever. You do whatever you got to do to get your bag. I don't give a shit. But what I'm trying to say is they're going to try to eliminate all of that. Not every channel knows how to fight or is willing to go to court for this shit. So I'm trying to give you a message to relay to every creator possible. That goes for musician. That goes for independent artists. That goes for other distribution companies. That goes for reaction channels, bar breakdown channels, channels that even do, like, you ever see a channel that they show you how they're connecting multi-syllables and shit like that? Like they'll do like red, blue, purple, yellow, blue, purple. That will not be available anymore.
All right. So that is Cliff Beats. Shout out to him, and shout out to his alert to the reaction and music content community. Okay. Now, what that means for somebody like me, who you're watching right now, I don't know how that's going to affect me, right? The majority of the content that I produce on my channel is not based on reactions. I do them every now and then when it's available to me to do so. I more so focus on commentary and sharing my original thoughts about what's going on in hip hop, in music, entertainment. And then I will give my thoughts on a trending song, or maybe somebody does post a snippet or something, which that's also going to be addressed, right? If UMG some kind of way retains ownership in these social media platforms, etc., and an artist posts a snippet over there, then of course they're also going to be content claiming on those snippets from their artists, right? Because a lot of artists, they'll post snippets, or they'll post, a leaked version of their song just to test it out to the market to see how people are fucking with it. And us as content creators, we react to it, we talk about it, we build hype around those snippets, or we say this snippet is straight ass juice, keep it. Again, we provide a service to the labels based on giving them organic heat checks for their artists. But if these things happen to come to fruition in the somewhat near future, then those snippets, those leaked videos, those leaked songs, then will become content claimed or copyright claimed content, which will also restrict the reactions, which is already a thing, right? Because when Drake released those 100 gig shit last year, they whipped his ass back into shape and said, you need to release that shit officially, right? Which is another reason why I'm not surprised that this is even happening, because Drake is the one who came out and accused UMG of allowing reactors to monetize and freely react to Kendrick's disses. That is a major part in his lawsuit, where he is trying to tell the US government that UMG is practicing an illegal activity by allowing reaction channels, reactors, and YouTube creators to react to those disses that were put out on him, while completely overlooking the fact that he also lifted his copyright constraints the same way, right? So I'm not surprised by UMG being reactionary to say, well, if we're going to have a reaction community, if we're going to have any of that, then let's have some ownership stake in where this music is being put out. Because remember, they were putting songs out via Instagram, Drake and Kendrick, that is. So now, just think about how much money, because they made hella money, hella profits off of that beef last year. But just think about how much money was missed when you go look at 616 in LA being uploaded to Kendrick's Instagram first, or Drake's Buried Alive, or as much as I hate the song, Tailor Made Freestyle being released on Drake's Instagram. Think about how many hits those Instagrams got, how much traction, how much traffic was guided strictly to Instagram in a way that UMG was not able to monetize on, right? So I think all of those things are being taken into consideration. As much as it was entertaining to us, as much as it, propelled the discussion of hip hop into a different place, as much as it, hoisted Kendrick Lamar into this new era. And, many of the Kendrick fans are super grateful for this era, because before this, we didn't know when he was going to come back outside. So there's positives, but it seems like there's a lot of negatives. And I think a lot of the negatives are also being leveraged on the fact that Drake came out and put this lawsuit to the forefront of the industry, which even I believe UMG is going to win, but it's also going to cause UMG to move differently moving forward, so that they never find themselves in this compromising position with another artist attempting to go rogue again, right? So I think all of this stuff, and it's not just Drake, because there's active lawsuits against UMG in other places as well. But I do understand why. Not to say that I agree, but I understand what the play is, which is exactly why I rarely do reaction content to begin with. Because a lot of times, if I do react to something, later down the line, if it goes undetected, on a random day, I get an email of somebody saying, "Hey, your video is now blocked. UMG is claiming your video," and then I have to take it out anyway, right? Because that's how it works. When they detect the shit, YouTube gives you the opportunity to either mute it and still play if it's a visual, or to completely take the portion out of the video. I end up just taking it out the video anyway because I don't want no smoke, and I'm not finna argue with you niggas. I ain't gonna argue with you. But, Cliff Beats talked about the potential of certain reaction channels or reactors disappearing from YouTube, not creating content on YouTube. And hey, if the bread and butter is reaction and that's the only thing that you are gonna do, so be it. But I'm gonna tell you what, man, J Nolan gonna be here, continue to give commentary. You know what I'm saying? Now, on the other side of the fence, do I believe that UMG is going to buy out all of the music distribution companies? I don't know. They already have a lot of music distribution companies under their umbrella. However, there are some independent distributors out there that are not under the UMG umbrella. Now, if they come offering multiple millions of dollars, it's going to be hard to decline. But do I believe that they're going to buy out the entire distribution chain in music? I don't know. I don't really see that happening. Not every company, right? Because they got to see value in the company in order to offer value, unless they're just going to pay them to eliminate them, which does happen at times. So I don't know. And I don't know how soon they would be able to act on that. And I think that some companies would resist. So I'll keep an eye out on that. I don't know if they're going to be able to just outright buy the metaverse, as in Meta. I think they have licensing agreements in place with Meta, Facebook, Instagram, and other companies. I think WhatsApp is under that umbrella as well. But I don't think UMG is going to be able to just outright buy them, right? They're going to have to come with a very huge offer, multiple billions, in order to do that. So we'll just have to wait and see. I don't want to be doom and gloom about this situation. But at the same time, it is a very real possibility over the course of the next, I don't even know how long, foreseeable years. But just be on the lookout for it, man, and protect yourself, right? And for the viewers out there, I would ask that y'all, quell some of your expectations, right? If you see that something like this is on the precipice, I think stop coming to people like myself saying, "Where's the music? Why you don't play the song? Why are you just talking?" Because that's what I can do freely. I can talk about this shit all day. We could break down lyrics. Now what will be fucked up is if they start taking out like publishing copyrights, right? To where you can't even talk about the lyrics. Now, if you can't talk about the lyrics, ain't gonna be shit to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Because at least lyrical breakdowns, we could talk about, the craftsmanship that goes into the songwriting. But if it becomes a point where you pull up lyrics on Genius in your page, gets flagged for that, UMG, y'all gonna fuck yourselves over, because all of the chatter around music will dissipate, my nigga. Y'all niggas gonna be paying for your funeral next. So please understand. You take out this community, and it's not just the community on YouTube, it's all social media. If you put the hammer down too hard and you take the current form of promotion out and you make it nearly criminal to engage with your music that y'all are releasing and owning, ultimately we will kind of take y'all out by default. If you outlaw the music, then the music ain't gonna be talked about. And the thing y'all are looking for the most is for people to talk about the music. And at that point, you're probably gonna have to take out contracts with No Life Shack, with the Kai Cenats, with these streamers, you know what I'm saying? And then next thing you know, streamers are going to start being signed to record deals, like Blackboy Max. Blackboy Max actually creates music, so it makes sense. But imagine Kai Cenat having a record deal. Imagine Drewski having a record deal to not even create music, but just to talk about it and play it. Excuse me. And then the label takes 60% out of their money because you talked about our music, you played music, but we still got to get our cut. There's going to be some fuckery afoot, you know what I mean? And eventually them niggas are going to start squirming and they're going to want to be up from under the thumb as well. And I only use them as examples because they're the big, you know, the biggest streamers out, the DDGs, the Ty Leos, all these guys, right? And I think a lot of them would take those deals out of excitement at first, but I think a lot of them within a couple years would start speaking out just like the artists do. So there's a lot that could happen, but I don't see, and it's fuck DDG still, that I don't think ultimately, if you look at it from a long-term standpoint, I don't think it's going to be sustainable for UMG to have that iron hammer. Another big reactor in the space, Knox Hill, has also came out and voiced his concern. Here's a post from him. He says, UMG has turned incredibly aggressive with their copyright strikes. I currently am sitting on 4 takedown notices that will turn to strikes next week unless I remove the vids. He says, I will not. So he's actually going to go up against the super machine. He says that puts my channel in danger of permanent removal and being frozen from uploading. Crazy. Now, I'm gonna be honest, Knox. I don't think that's the best move. If you got strikes on your if you got copyright strikes on your channel, and it's from UMG, you know, basically reaching out to you pertaining to the content or the music that they own, I don't see how you kind of win. You know, especially if your channel is being put in danger of permanent removal. I don't think it's worth it. You know, but you're a much bigger channel than I am. You're going to do what you please. All right. Somebody says, which artist is it? Is it a mix of artists? I'm trying to figure it out. Knox Hill says mix. Lil Wayne, Pusha T, Kendrick Lamar at the moment. So clearly Pusha T, Kendrick is probably that Chains and Whips joint. Because I already know UMG claims that. But his channel is much bigger than mine. They might have escalated it to a strike. And UMG Republic owns Lil Wayne shit too. And Kendrick, by proxy, is under Interscope, which is under UMG. He says, seems every Friday is now becoming a UMG strike claim takedown day. Same thing happened last week to me. And since then, I've started talking to other channels and found out it's not just my channel getting hit. Okay. This person here says, most of y'all don't want to hear this, but if Drake beats UMG, it will cause real industry reform, making things better for all involved. Okay, so this is somebody advocating for Drake, and this person is super uneducated. If Drake beats UMG, that will decimate is the word I was thinking of. Decimate the relationship between reactors and UMG because that's what he's litigating. But this person says, the business is run by crooks and nothing changes without a regime change, not to mention the potential for this to turn into a class action. Knox Hill says, bro, it's gotten worse because of the lawsuit. Like I said, it would for months. So at least Knox Hill knows the real. Somebody says, why don't you just go on Patreon? You're solid enough in your breakdowns where most of us will follow. He says that is the backup plan at this moment. I'm going to make a vid on all this early next week as I'm still on set finishing out my latest music video. I think Patreon is an absolutely great option for Knox Hill. He's got an established channel, but I still don't think you should jeopardize your channel by going exclusively to Patreon because then you also mess up your marketing to lead people to said Patreon. Right? This person here says, why don't they build a revenue split? He says 100% up for that. Win-win for everybody. Overflow says UMG needs to release a program where big creators can partner with them. They take a portion of the revenue naturally, or it'd be like a subscription model, but then all this legal, not legal shit will go away. Knox Hill says it's stupid. We could easily have a symbiotic relationship where everyone wins, and we've helped further promote their artists. Instead, it seems short-sighted. Greed is taking precedent, again, over long-term benefit to all parties involved. We've got this person here that says, bro, please chill and play by the book for now. We do not need you to lose your channel. I have memories I don't need deleted because of UMG unless you have a backup channel. Knox Hill says, I also have a family to support. What they are doing is illegal and an abuse of the YouTube copyright system. That part, yeah. There is no book to play by. I don't think what they're doing is illegal. Now, fair use is a claim, but I don't think fair use is a blanket of protection, right? So in the interest of supporting your family, I would say keep that channel active, take down what needs to be taken down, live to fight another day. But that's just how I see things. Let me pull up this petition real quick and wrap up. So we've got this petition here that says stop UMG from monopolizing content creator rights. As of now, it has 541 signatures, which is pretty paltry. The issue, finding the reaction community has been an immensely therapeutic experience for me. It hasn't just connected with me it connected me with like-minded individuals, but it has also given me the creative freedom to heal from past trauma. However, this community, which serves as a source of solace and self-expression for many, is under threat. UMG, a major player in the music industry, is attempting to monopolize the rights of content creators and reaction channels on social media platforms. Such a monopoly would not only hinder individual creativity, but would also silence diverse voices that bring unique perspectives to the forefront. Millions of content creators rely on their ability to react, critique, and transform existing media as a form of expression, entertainment, and even livelihood. If UMG continues this path, countless channels may face unwarranted restrictions, potentially leading to their demise. The digital landscape thrives on diversity and the free exchange of ideas. It's vital that we all stand together to oppose this monopolistic endeavor. Content creators should have the freedom to share their genuine reactions and interpretations without fear of unjust legal repercussions or censorship. Recent industry reports indicate that over 50% of reaction channels have faced DMCA takedown notices or content strikes, paralyzing their creative output. Granting one corporation such power contradicts the principles of a balanced digital environment where every voice can be heard. A viable solution would be the implementation of a fair use policy that protects creators who adhere to guidelines demonstrating transformative content. Furthermore, collaboration between UMG reaction channels and content creators can ensure mutual benefit and understanding. Your signature can make a difference. It can ensure that creativity and freedom remain at the heart of our digital culture. Support the call for fair regulations today. Sign the petition to stop UMG from monopolizing content creator rights. All right? So that's that. But again, your boy J Nolan here is going to continue to give y'all the news, give y'all my reactions with or without the music, my commentary on what's going on in the game and the landscape, and, continue to build my platform and continue to, hopefully build relationships direct with artists that are willing to come on here and talk about their music, to do these interviews. And hopefully that leads to bigger artists that also will want to come on the platform as well when they see value in what we're building over here. All right. So y'all just continue to support your boy, continue to go up, continue to, like and share these videos, continue to comment, engage. And we're going to continue to rock out, man. But let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share like I stated. And if this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, become an insider. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one, man. Much love and respect. Peace.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rags. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the gouda, we hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef for computers, I'm straight out the sewer, we come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some batteries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. When I catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.